Welcome to the Tradie Success Podcast by Annette Welsford, founder of Common Sense Marketing and Tradie Marketing Secrets. Annette's on a mission to help honest, hard-working tradies like you to become marketing geniuses, so you end up spending less time on the tools and more time growing a great business.
Hello and welcome. It's Annette Welsford here from Tradie Success and Common Sense Marketing. Today we're going to have a look at how to grow your business and your profits. And our guest, Kevin Hargreaves, is going to share some amazing secrets that are going to allow us to do that. So Kevin has been a successful business owner for 40 plus years. He's done a lot of things. He's bought many struggling businesses and turned them around using a whole bunch of strategies he's going to tell us about. And he's grown them fast and on-sold them at great profit. He learned how to do this a long time ago from the famous book, The E-Myth, Michael Gerber. These days, he's a business growth expert and he shares all his secrets, how he turned all these businesses around with his clients at Best Business Coach. And he really enjoys helping serious business owners to grow their businesses exponentially. So he's going to share some of his secrets. He's going to share a few really interesting stories that he told me earlier. And I thought, wow, what amazing turnarounds, transformations. And they're all trade businesses. So he's helped some of them go from the absolute brink of being broke to building really successful businesses. And then he's going to share a really generous free tool with us where we can put in our own numbers and see what we can do to increase our own profits. So more about that later. Kevin, welcome.
Good morning, Anna. How are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
That's a shot.
So you've got some really interesting stories to share with us.
Yeah, I've got a few. Where would you like me to start?
Well, with your coaching business, I understand you've got 12 principles that you work through. Is that right?
Yeah, well, we've got 40 strategies altogether, but we usually use 12 in the first 12 months because that usually will change a business exponentially, like multiple times it will improve a business. Providing the business owner implements those strategies, they'll get great results. It's proven. So it was really good.
Okay, so why don't we pick on 3 of the 12 that you think will have incredible impact?
Okay.
So first, what would
well,
you?
I think one is price increasing, but you need to increase your price so you don't lose the customers you already have. So we do that as well. So like recently I worked with a plumber. I probably shouldn't mention their name, but I'm happy to. They don't mind. Sean and Tanya, they come to me, they said, look, we're busy, we've got good marketing, we seem to be, everybody thinks we're making a fortune, but we're not. We actually lost money last year. She said, do you think you can help? I said, I'm sure I can. Let's have a look. Can you send me a profit and loss? Went through the profit and loss. Their salaries and superannuation was 59% of their turnover. I said, whoa, there's a problem here. So we went through it, and after going through all the things, I said, well, it's your pricing. And she said to me, Tanya said, Kevin, it's not the pricing. She said, we've been charging that price for 10 years.
Oh.
I said, stop, rewind, and tell me what you just say what you said again. And then she said it and she twigged. So we went through their pricing, we rang their competitors to see what they were charging. We increased their price. Their call-out rate was $66. We increased it to $77. I wanted to do it higher, but they were reluctant. And we increased their increment. They had 15-minute increments on their pricing. So every 15 minutes over there, they were charging $25. So we jumped that to $35. That's a 40% increase. You'd think that's ridiculous, but it didn't. That business has just absolutely turned around. We also reignited some of their old clients as well as that. So that business went from losing about $40,000 a year to making about $240,000 profit. That's not a bad turnaround.
That's fantastic. So
raising your
prices is a really, it's a good strategy, but it's one that most of us are too scared to do. Yeah.
Most business owners are scared they're going to lose customers, but sometimes I do a presentation on raising your prices. And, sometimes if you raise your prices just 10%, you've got to lose 25% of your customers to break even on that strategy. So you're just never going to lose 25%. So, every business owner, tradie, whatever, you can go and raise your prices 10% today, guaranteed. You won't lose a client.
That's a really good tip. Thank you. So what would be second?
Probably job costing and getting the gross profit margin right. Because most business owners, although they're good at what they do, they just don't understand. So let's just look quickly at the profit margin. So let's say you're selling something that costs $100 and you want to make, I'm just going to use 35% profit margin, which is really too low for most business. We're just going to use it as an example. So
Gross margin or net or gross?
Well, yeah. So, we're talking gross profit margin because that's what you're going to charge for that product that you buy for $100 or cost you $100.
Right.
So what most people do, they just add 35% to 100, which gives them $135. That's not a 35% profit margin. That's a 35% markup. It's totally different. So to get the 35% profit margin, you need to divide the $100 cost by 0.65. That's the inverse way to do it. And that'll give you, I can't think of it how much that comes to off the top of my head today, but I'll quickly do it. That makes it $153 instead of $135. So that's $28 profit you lost by doing it the wrong way. So that's what I've done recently just for an engine reconditioning company. They had fairly good sales, but they were losing money. Similar sort of thing to the plumber, but a bit different. So their problem is they weren't costing out they were costing out the parts, but they weren't costing out the labour to rebuild the engine to create the sales price. They were way under the cost. So we increased their prices of those engines by about 40% overall. Well, it just made a huge difference. It went from losing money to making money. Because, when you increase prices, every cent you increase the price goes into your net profit, not your gross profit, your net profit. That's money in the bank. That's money for you. So that's another simple one, is understanding the costing of what you're going to sell. So not all tradies will have a high cost because a lot of their cost is labour, but it's still they need to cost that labour in, not shortchange it.
Yeah,
so
including your own labour, because you often don't think of your own labour as a cost.
You don't, that's right.
Yeah.
And that's what was happening with the engine reconditioning company. They weren't thinking of their own labour as a cost, but it was.
Yeah.
So they did have some labour in there, but they didn't have anywhere near what it actually cost,
Yeah.
And they needed to get, so if they were charging, say, $120 an hour, they needed to be costing about $120 an hour because they could have been doing other work at $120 an hour. They were costing it in at what the mechanic cost them, which was 34 or 35. So absolute net cost is the wrong way to do it.
Yes. Right.
So the other one that I find is really amazing is cutting costs. So normally when I work with a business, I'll get a hold of their business bank statement and I'll get a hold of their credit card statement because the amount of things I find on there that are just wasted. The basic rule is if it doesn't create a new client, we'll look after the one you got, dump it. It's a pretty simple rule. So if I go through someone's credit card statement, the number of things I find on there that they've been paying for every month that they never even use. It could be a subscription. It could be any type of thing. They never use it. And they don't even worry about it. They just pay it. It's amazing. It blows me away, but it happens. So I find it on their credit card and their bank statement. They need to go through them both, very precisely. And if it doesn't create a new customer, we'll look after the one you got, cancel it. You'll be amazed how much you'll save. I do a little demonstration where I go, increase your revenue by 5%. You could put your price up 5%, decrease your cost of goods by 5%, and decrease your expenses by 5%, and it grows your profit, your net profit, 58%. That's the power of compounding. People don't understand compounding.
Okay. Wow, lot to think about. I think and it's also something that, most of us as business owners without accounting and finance backgrounds, and the thought of doing all this is like, oh, but that's where you come in and help. Yeah.
That's right. That's where we come in and help.
Yeah.
Yep. We get some great results from group coaching. We're doing a lot of group coaching these days, and we get up to 10 on a call, different types of businesses. And it's really good because it's a bit of fun, one, and two, each business helps each other brainstorm while we do it, and we go through a strategy every week. It's a really good program we do there.
Okay, well, we'll get a little bit more on that in a minute. A word from our sponsor, Instant Tradie Websites. Tradies, you know you need a good website so you can promote your business and generate more inquiries week after week. But what if you don't have thousands to spend on it and no time or clue on how to build it yourself? Well, problem is now solved. You can create your own with one of the stunning Instant Tradie website designs. It'll be yours to keep on your domain name, and the team at Instant Tradie Websites will host it. They'll keep it secure. They'll show you how to add your content. They'll help you edit it and help you launch it to the world. They can even help you with low-cost marketing so that your new site is easily found online. Find out more at instanttradiewebsites.com.au now and check out the beautiful designs and low fees. So just give us one more. Say the 3 of your 12 fantastic.
This is what most people do, and I'm sure, Annette, you do this for business owners, but a lot don't understand, and this is where marketing's so important, which is your job. I know that. I don't do marketing, but to differentiate your business from your competitor, have what I call a market dominating position. We worked with a skip bin company there. They were struggling. They were losing money as well. They bought a Jim's franchise. It was losing money, and they come to me and said, what do you think we can do? I said, well, let's have a look what gyms do. We had a look. Well, they didn't, absolutely nothing. They were sending them 2 leads a month like crazy. And they were paying, I can't remember the number, but they're paying his monthly fee. I said, let's try and get rid of gyms and let's reignite your business. So we changed it to GoBins Gold Coast. We took that business from 220,000, I think it was, turnover losing money, to 1.1 million, and they're now gone forward. They had 1 truck that was busy half the time. They now got 3 trucks flat out. That's not a bad turnaround. So what we did, we said, well, what is it that that your customers has the biggest issue? And they said, well, what we found is tradies, they want a skip bin picked up on, say, Monday. The companies say they'll pick it up and then they don't turn up till Wednesday or Thursday, and they had a reason they needed it shifted to put something else there or get a crane, whatever it was. So we created a little slogan for them. We said, GoBins Gold Coast, on time, every time, guaranteed. And we put that out there. Melinda, the husband's wife, she went and joined a lot of building industries, networking things and all that, and got that out there, and it just took off. She just won Businesswoman of the Year for Queensland Building, whatever it is,
right.
Society.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow. That's just a huge difference. So, because you got to stand out and you've got to meet your client, your customers' needs. Otherwise, what's the point?
That's right.
Yeah.
And, it's no good saying that if you can't do it. You've got to be able to do it. So then you need the right strategies in place to be able to implement it.
Okay. And then you'd have to probably have some tracking and measurement in place to ensure that
That's right. Well, the other thing we did with them, I got to organise a software for them that worked out exactly where every bin was. They knew. They took a photo when they dropped it, when they picked it up, and it was just amazing because it allowed them to manage their drop-offs and pickups without, writing it down everywhere on bits of paper. They had it all there on the computer, and Melinda could just do it in a flash. So it took her a little while to get her head around that, but it worked really well.
That's really good. So there's 3 of 12 great strategies, and none of them are really super complicated, but they obviously, from what you've been telling us, have had a really big impact on your clients. So, as I mentioned earlier, with your best business coach you've got like a coaching business where people can join in. Is it weekly or monthly? Or
Yeah,
how does
weekly, every week. We do about an hour and a half every week.
Okay.
Yeah. Mhm.
And you work through these strategies, and
We work
do
through
you
those 12
hold them
strategies.
accountable?
We give examples. They've all got strategies. We've got a workbook. You can download the workbook and we work through it so you can take notes and all that type of thing. It's really good. And businesses seem to brainstorm between each other, which is really good because it's always amazes me that a plumbing business can see the problems of the skipping business and the home renovator can see the problems of the chiropractor and vice versa. And it just, it sort of
You can't
amazes me a little
sometimes
bit.
get close to your own business, yeah.
Get too close
But
to your
it's
own
obvious.
business. Yeah, it's amazing. So it works really good. We get good results from it. The Skip-In company was on that, and so was, I've mentioned the other ones, but yeah, so that works really good, and it's not expensive to do that way,
Yeah, no, it's not. And of course, you would be holding them accountable, no doubt, and sort of how did
We
you
hold them
go?
accountable. So every time we do a call, we go over what they've got done in the last week. Where have you got to? What have you got done? And it helps keep them accountable. So, because if you're not accountable, you can't get a result. So that's why I always say I help serious business owners, because if you're not serious, you're not going to be accountable. So it's pretty simple,
That's good. So, Kevin, I understand you've got a special free gift for our listeners today, and it's a simulator. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's right. It's a simulator. So what it does, you can go onto this link that Annette's going to share with you. It'll show you what's possible in your business. So you can put in your revenue, you can put in your gross percentage profit margin, which you can get from your profit and loss. You'll be able to find out what your gross profit is. Just divide that by your revenue, multiply by 100, and it'll give you the percentage. And the same with your net profit margin. Just divide the net profit from your profit and loss by your sales, multiply it by 100, it'll give you the margin. Put those in, select the currency, and then it's got a slide bar. You can slide across to a percentage. Now, I say put in somewhere between 3 and 5%, and it's got 12 strategies there. It'll put that difference in there. And then on the right-hand side, it's also got a little video on the power of compounding, which business owners just do not understand. Not their fault. No one teaches them. Then you can dive down further. It says dive deeper into your profits, and you can slide down. It'll give you the other strategies we work with. There's 40 there all together, but at the bottom you can then get your personalized 12 months roadmap. So when you click on that, we'll ask you for your email, but what happens is you'll get the download of all those 12 strategies. It'll show you the difference in dollars and percentage it makes to your revenue and your profit. And it's got a little video on each one. They're on about 1.5 to 2 minutes on how you can do that and what's possible. So it's pretty important, a pretty great thing to do. And also, if you want to know more, you can also book a call with me there for free. It's just a 30-minute call. We just run through your business and I'll tell you a little bit about something you could implement, so it won't cost you anything. How about that?
That's fantastic. Well, that's very generous. I've just started to put my numbers in, and I was pretty amazed actually at some of the incredible results that I could achieve if I did these things. Yeah,
that's right. Yep.
The
trouble is, people put them in, and you know what happens in it, and they wow, that's good, but they never do it.
Yeah.
Because they need
so that's
someone
where joining your coaching program would make you do it. Yeah,
absolutely. We'll help you get it done. We'll give you ways to get it done. Plus, we run through different strategies and examples for other businesses as well, which you'll go, wow, I didn't think of that. Wow, that's a good idea. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So much more than I can tell you on a half an hour, call.
Of course, I understand. Yeah, look, that's been really, really illuminating. I'm sure our listeners have got a lot of good tips out of that, and I hope it's inspired everybody to particularly at this time of year is time when we're kind of starting to wind down. This is the best time of year around the Christmas, New Year time to actually think about what you're going to be doing next year and make a commitment to yourself to get involved in it with a business group like Kevin's, Best Business Coach, because if you keep putting it off, well, who was it that said that? It was the famous saying, if you don't make it, if nothing
Yeah,
changes.
that was Albert Einstein. He's
Albert Einstein, that's right.
the definition of a lunatic is someone who keeps doing the same thing over and over again and expects a different result.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's so true. But people do all the time. Hey, it's interesting that people don't like to shift out of their comfort zone. But you know what? If you don't make some of the changes, you won't get changes. It's pretty much that simple.
That's been really wonderful. Thank you so much for your time, Kevin. And I hope
thanks, Annette. Great to speak with you.
It was lovely to talk to you too. And we'll put up the show in the show notes. We'll put the link to that wonderful accelerator and to Kevin's website, his coaching business, so that you can go and check it out for yourselves.
Thank you very much. You have an awesome rest of the day.
Well done for listening to this podcast.